What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Friday, February 22nd at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. LA time, which is where I'm at. As you can see, I got the squad rolling with me. I'm having so much fun in LA this week. This is a dream come true. First off, I'm wearing a Ski Life shirt, Ski Profit. He wrote the bag on the back, representing Ski Forever. I got Ski Forever, Ski Profit, rocking with the show right now. We watched the Lakers game together. Great call on the Lakers. I got my man, Big Boss to my right, J Money to my left, and making his Low Shack and the Bag live debut, Angel Romero in the house.
What's up, fellas? Thank you for having me on the show, man. It's finally happening.
Man, you hand out winner after winner after winner. One fun thing about this weekend is putting faces to names. This is the guy we're tailing. This is the man we're tailing. He's got a couple soccer plays we're going to pop off with right away. We have a jam-packed card. We have Max joining us in like 25 minutes. We got a great group here in the chat ready to rock. I would say all your names, but we need to keep rolling. First off, shout out to Dan Kelly, Drew Daddy, Sean Robertson, Coco Bongo, Hako Schofield, B. Fulton, Finn201. Bada boom! We got a busy card here. But we're going to be able to cap each and every single one of these games on both these shows. What we're not going to do is spend too much time on this NHL card. I'm going to bang it out real quickly. First off, I got plus 135 on minus 1.5 in the show. But during the morning show, we heard about the Duchesne trade, and obviously money started pouring in on Columbus. Now the best you could get would be plus 112 at Pinnacle. I had to bet it at plus 105, which was disappointing. I'm on Columbus. I can understand people thinking that maybe Ottawa steps up, and I believe they will once they get rid of guys like Duchesne, bring up guys from the AHL like Batherson, who they brought up today. Then Colorado, Chicago, I'm staying off of. I can understand both situations, backing both teams, so that's a stay-off spot for me. I'm also not taking the under 7, even though I love under 7s. I'm on Detroit money line here. Minnesota has become the favorite. That's because Jimmy Howard's sick, so that means Bernier's in goal. I probably wouldn't have made this bet with Bernier, but I still might have. I think Detroit has value. I just would have got a much better line, obviously. I'm on Calgary minus 1.5. That's my third and final play on this card. Calgary minus 1.5. Right, I got plus. Oh, you can get plus 111 right now. I got plus 115 on the show. Again, I bet it at plus 105. So that's my 3 spots on this NHL card. I'm staying away from Winnipeg, Vegas, and so that's simple. NHL card, locked, loaded. I don't want to spend any more time on it because next up, my man Angel Romero going to give us 2 soccer plays that you know have been cashing at a very high percentage. And then my man King Rail will be jumping on in Angel's spot here. And this is just the beginning of today's big shows on SBR because King's Court 100th episode following this show. So without further ado, Angel, you've been feeding us winners, my man.
Yeah, we went 3-1 in the morning.
Nice.
Almost pulled the sweep, but hey, 3-1 is profit. You know what I mean?
3-1 is profit. 3-1 is profit.
For tonight in the Mexican Primera División League, we're got 2 picks. I got Cruz Azul money line. It's 167 right now. Cruz Azul has been playing pretty bad, but they're playing against Tiburones, who has no goals this whole season. I don't even have 1 goal. So they're going into the 7th game of the season, and Cruz Azul has way better roster and everything, so they should take that game out pretty easily.
What time does that pop
That's
off?
going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific.
7 p.m. Pacific? Okay,
the
so
second game is going to be the same, 7 p.m. Pacific.
So the first one is Cruz Azul minus 167.
Minus 167.
So would you think that a good idea would be to parlay these 2 spots?
If you want to. I mean, I always do. You know, I just don't like to give them out too many plays. You know, I like to give them single bets so that they, we can make sure that we make some money. You know, but
for sure,
I'm gonna parlay it because it's a good idea. The second game is Tigres. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that name. You know, they've been making some money for me, so they got them at a plus 100.
Oh wow!
So anytime you got plus money, I jump on it. Especially with the playing with their Guiñakis, like one of the leading scorers in the league. You got to take it. So that's what I'm rolling with. So that's also going to be 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Mm-hmm. So that's the Tigres, Cruz Azul parlay.
Parlay and single bets each.
Yeah. And parlay minus 167 plus 100.
And real quick, tomorrow Barcelona plays. They have them at plus money. They've been playing very bad. They've been losing me some money the last couple of games. But anytime it's plus money, they're due. You know, they're due to snap. You know, Messi hasn't been playing good. So pretty soon they're going to snap 5-0, 4-0, something crazy like that. And if they're giving you plus, jump on that.
Jump on.
Yeah.
Jump on Barcelona.
Tomorrow.
I love that. Seth, could we tweet out Angel Romero's parlay? That's the Cruz Azul money line minus 167 and plus 100 on Tigre.
I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to put it on video right now on the tweet.
Hey, respect, man. Respect. Angel Romero, can you tell our low baggers where we can find you on Twitter? And can you please give a shout out to all the guys in the chat, all our Cap fam in the chat watching right now?
So you can find me at Angel Romero MX. And, I've been on Twitter 6 months, barely 7 months, just from the show. Watched the show for years, watched Low Shack back in the days. Then Jimmy popped on. I just kept rolling with it. Soccer was never really a big thing that we bet on, like on the show. But I just kept trying. I kept trying. And lo and behold, here we are now, so just got to give a thanks to you guys, SBR. You guys have been, doing a really good show, keeping us entertained throughout the week, a couple times a day. And, hopefully we can just keep the rolling and see how big this thing can get.
Well, we would have Drew Daddy saying, Angel, the truth. Aloha Eastside Roller says, my man, Angel. We would have no show without guys like you, Angel Romero. So it's so dope to have you rolling with us. You coming to the tits?
I'll be there tonight. Hell yeah.
Okay, perfect.
That's why, man. I've been taking meds this whole week.
Perfect.
I've been sweating it out yesterday and today, so.
Sure. Get yourself in business, man. Get yourself some titty juice on that face.
Yeah.
I like it. Shout out to Angel Romero making his Low Shack in the bag debut. So then we're gonna have King Rail rolling in that spot. Shout out to Angel Romero, man. That's a nice debut.
Nice debut right there, live and direct, right here on the Low Bag LA. Mark it down right now. It's a casher. It's going down.
I like that. So
we should catch probably the tail end of that game at the bar in between.
The next part. I'm gonna jump on that parlay. I'm gonna put at least a half unit on that parlay. Phil Bobbin says all my favorite people in one room. Well, dressed in green, money green. We got King Rail rolling up in the spot. So without further ado, I want to start breaking down this NBA card. Now, I did not want to make a lot of plays till I rocked with you guys, but I did. I thought I was going to try to beat some line moves, and there were some plays that just looked so good to me. I jumped on. Now, we got Max coming in about 20 minutes, so if we're going to hammer at least for sure the games that are going off at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If there's games we miss on the late shows, we will be doing them. We will be rocking them on King's Court. So let's get rolling. Game 1, Wizards at Hornets. I'm going to pull up SBR odds to make sure I know exactly what's going on with these things. I jumped on the Hornets. I know they looked absolutely terrible in that first game, or that last game before they hosted the All-Star game. You could still get -5s. Actually, some 1.5 is on the board. This total pretty much stayed at 232. It opened at 230. For me right now, it's Tony Parker. Tony Parker. I've been talking about him all year long because he allows Kemba to play off the ball. And when you play the same sort of offense throughout the game, it can get stagnant. The smart defensive coaches can understand exactly how to break you down after 10 or 15 minutes. But when Tony Parker comes into the game, Kemba plays off the ball, and it changes everything. It changes dynamics offensively and changes what the coach has to do, the defending coach has to do. Charlotte's 1-9 without Parker in the lineup. I am on the Charlotte Hornets -5. Let's start with you, King Rail. What do you think about my Hornet spot? Because I know it's not part of your parlay that you gave out.
No, I actually like the Hornets in this spot right here tonight too, man. Hornets are nice. They're 15-3 at home versus the East. They're 5-1 straight up last 6 games versus the Wizards. Wizards are 5-15 away and 5-14 versus the East as a dog. Plus, it's a revenge spot for the Hornets over here. I think this is when Ariza first joined the Wizards, when they went over there and they beat the Hornets over there. Probably their second game with Ariza. Ariza had about 24, 25 points that game versus this Hornets team. The Hornets team is at home right now. Tony Parker, like you said, he didn't play like 4 games before the break. He didn't have the break now. Older body, veteran player. And you're correct. You get the ball out of Kimbo's hand. You allow Kimbo to set up and go out there and create for itself. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard when a player on the ball sometimes to go out there and create when you know you're the guy of the team who have to make the plays for the team. But I back you here. With Parker back in there, no Bizak playing, but this Wizards team isn't a big team anyway. So that 4-5 does not scare me whatsoever. Give me the Hornets at home. I think the Hornets will cover easy over here tonight. Just -5.
Love hearing that. Ski, what do you think about this spot? You think that I'm in any danger with this Hornet squad needing to cover 5 points? They're 19-9 at home. Wizards 7-23 on the road. And also, they've only had 4 games to get Portis, Parker, and Wesley Johnson comfortable in this rotation, which is not working. It's not going to happen as of yet.
I think you're in a good spot because the Hornets are shit without Tony Parker, and they're finally getting them back. They lost the last few games, but they were all on the road. Hornets are not a good road team. Wizards, they're 9-21 against the spread on the road. He touched on the Wizards as a road dog. They're 6-15. So Hornets at home. I always like Hornets at home. Getting Tony Parker back against the Wizards squad, that's not much to like. I like the Hornets if I'm making a play.
Mm-hmm.
I like it too. J Money is money. What are you thinking in the spot?
Jimmy, I think you have nothing to worry about in this game. You know what I'm saying? You know the Hornets play a whole lot better at the house. The Wizards are 7-23 on the road this year, and this is a revenge game. Y'all know me, man. Revenge game, Jay. The Wizards already beat the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? This year, or last year technically on the 29th. You know what I'm saying? Right before the year was over. Then the Hornets coming off a 38-point loss right before the break. Man, you got to give me, you know what I'm saying, them to bounce back in this game at the house versus the Wizards. Where like Real says, none of the Wizards big scare me at all, and I feel like the guards for the Hornets definitely match up well for the Wizards. That's what the Wizards are. They're all guards. You know what I'm saying? So if you can have some guards that can match up with them, we know Kemba Walker, he's gonna go off. They got Batum. You know what I'm saying? They got Marvin Williams, some other players, some bigger players that's gonna give them some problems. Like Cody Zeller should go off tonight. So this is a good bounce back game for me, especially like I say, coming off that 38-point loss. That had to have been a very low point for them coming off the break, fresh legs at the house. I have to take the Hornets here -5.
Well, I have to ask both you guys. Let's start with you, J Money. Why are the Hornets not in your parlay?
Yeah, well, my personal parlay on a few of my personal parlays, I did throw them on there, but I feel like there are some better spots tonight. You know what I'm saying? This could be a close game when it comes down to it, especially with us giving out the -5. But if I was to throw it on a parlay, it would be the on the money line. This could come down to the wire. The Wizards are a scrappy team at some points, but I do think that the Hornets will get over the hump today. But we didn't think that was one of the stronger games on the night. That's why we didn't put it on the parlay.
I feel you. Is that the same reason, King? You thought you saw some better money line spots?
Yeah, better money line spots. Some games I'm not as sure on as I possibly am with this one. That's what I do when I parlay. I take games that if I'm not feeling about 80%, like, you know what I mean, 80% on them, I'll throw them on a parlay because I'm there. But this game right here, I'm 100% with it when it comes to Charlotte cashing and winning this game. So I'd rather just take them to -5, lay a nice little couple of units on it, and just bet it that way instead of having to sweat a team that I'm already thinking going to win with 2 other teams who I'm in the win about, you know what I mean? So give me the surefire winner here, and I like the Hornets.
What do you guys feel about this total? It's gone up a couple points to 232. I'm off of it. Do any of you guys have a play on the total?
I don't have a play, but I know Wizards went over 5 of the last 7. Hornets over 4 of the last 6. Wizards have been number 1 in pace before the break, so I would lean towards the over.
You would lean towards over, and that's what the market's doing.
My only concern that why the total in this one game, there's a couple of games today I did look at totals up, but this one is because this to me isn't the score that Otto Porter was for this team and what Kelly Oubre what he is for the Bulls right now. Portis didn't get that shine in Chicago that he's going to get over here in the Wizards. I need to see more offensive scoring from Portis. I need to see consecutive games of him averaging at least 17 points or more before I start looking at any of these totals, especially with the Wizards on the road.
And I don't trust these overs first game back after a break. And the market's been moving towards them, and I've been surprised seeing that. Okay, I love it. Now, this is a very interesting game. Let's look at Pelicans, Pacers. I was very interested in the Pelicans, and I could have there were 6.5s across the board, and now there's 6s. And I know this was a play that people weren't necessarily going to like immediately. Eric Jones says, no over, Jim, under 232. So, yeah, I'm not going to make – and Taco Schofield said that's a high total. And Tomer says I lean under Morris and Porter gone. I don't trust them to score. I'm with you guys.
That Morris thing real quick. I mean, but that's really going to affect this Wizards team. When they traded Morris, that lets me know right there they're tanking. Exactly. They're tanking. Yeah. They're going to get a draft pick. They're tanking. The season is done for the Wizards.
And how do you like Morris in this Thunder uniform?
I think that's one of the best things. I didn't even see it coming myself. I mean, I don't know how Ski feel about it, but you know how these Morris brothers are. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're competitors, you know what I mean? That fits perfectly in with a defense He brings the attitude that Thunder needs. You don't want your point guard being Westbrook, the mad one out there. You want your enforcer. Yeah, he's gonna be that Charles Oakley, that Dennis Rodman that the Thunder needs right now.
A small sample size, but it came out on social media with the Toronto group that I kind of roll with, and most of it was negative about Markieff Morris. And I was like, you guys don't see these Morris brothers the way I see them, obviously, because I see them as tough basketball players, and I just absolutely am in love with Marcus, especially. Well, now let's talk about Pelicans. So I think that with AD on this, now stop me from doing this or push me towards it, but I see AD on this minutes limit, and I think Pelicans early to me. Elfrid Payton is back, and you guys know I do not like Elfrid Payton's character, but he picks and chooses when he steps up, and when he steps up, he's a really good point guard. And that's why if I was a Pelicans fan or any fan that was watching that had Payton on their team, I would be so upset watching because he just doesn't lay it on the floor 82 games a year. But Payton's coming back. I think these Pelicans could be dangerous here early. Is that crazy? Should I stay off of it? Well, Ski, what are you thinking here?
First thing that popped in my mind is Dave L.A., the Pelicans fade. But besides that, I think the Pacers, they play better when they play competition, in my opinion. And then when they play lower teams, they just play down to the competition. So, I mean, Pelicans are on the lower end. So if you like the Pelicans early, I wouldn't argue against it.
What are you thinking? Or
No, it's all on Jay. This is Jay's spot right here.
Jimmy, I can't say, man. I don't think in this particular game I would stay off of it, man. With them coming there say that they're going to limit his minutes, I would just stay off of the shit. That shows me that the Pelicans are pretty much giving up. You know what I'm saying? Like Real says, that shows me that they're tanking. Then they even say Holiday as well. They weren't even talking about trading Holiday, and you saying you're going to limit his minutes and what's called. They know that both of them are probably gone at the end of this season. But if you look at the way the Pacers been playing before they lost to the Bucks, they had been rolling before that 6-0. 6-0 straight up. But they've been playing at the house, though. They are at home. You know what I'm saying? They're coming off their one loss. They're gonna be ready to play in this one. I think that they come out from the get-go, first quarter and first half, and bust the Pelicans the full way. That's just what I'm thinking. I mean, it could happen. I'm always a fan of don't let anyone talk you out of your bets. You know what I'm saying? If you really like it, but the way that I'm looking at it in this game, I think that the Pacers come out here and smack them from the first quarter and don't look back. I will be fading the Pelicans for the rest of the season. I can tell you that for sure.
Robert Gilmore, who rolled with us last night, says the Pels game is an in-play spot for sure. Taylor Byer says Pacers, Jimmy. Dave L.A. says exactly, J Money. Edwin Garcia says, Jimmy, which games are you going to be at?
One in L.A. off of Washington Boulevard, downtown L.A.
Beautiful.
Hey, it's some stats that like kind of confuse me on this game, but when the spread is -8 to -5 for the Pacers, they're 13-5-1. But against 45%, less than 45% win teams, they're 9-15-1.
Wow.
So that's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, that's two different.
I'm looking at this game right now too, and Miles Turner is ruled out.
Yeah.
Is he ruled out already?
Turner is out. That hurts, but Evans is in. So when both of them were questionable, I was looking at.
I'm on my Wi-Fi.
Right. Bro.
Y'all want to use my Wi-Fi? Y'all can.
What up, man?
What's up, bro?
I think we're back.
We're back. Okay. Well, you missed some very interesting breakdowns on this game, and I loved it. So sorry that I'm the only one who got all that important info, but we're back.
Well, we're back. I heard we get off of this real quick, so let Ski and J Money elaborate, and you guys finish it up. But to me, I like what J Money is saying when it comes to the Indiana on the money line, and that's why I didn't take this team minus the 60 parlay. I just can't trust the Pelicans team, who I don't know what they're gonna do with their lineup wise. That's so confusing. But we do know, everybody. You guys have to understand. Right now, the Pelicans are in tank mode, but they're not gonna blatantly tank like everybody else. We know Anthony Davis will be traded. Holiday minutes now are also cut shorter.
Yeah, why?
They're going to trade him.
They don't want to win games.
Exactly.
They don't want to win games. They don't want to win games. They want to win games. It was funny when Anthony Davis, that last game, made playoff tape was super close. AD had a double-double, almost triple-double, and he had over 30 points by the fourth quarter before it came. You didn't play him the whole fourth quarter. You was hoping you lost that game, but you still won that game. Now it's like basically saying, I wouldn't be surprised if the coach said, hey, we want to develop y'all. Develop the rest of the guys, AD, Holiday, everybody wants y'all to sit. And we're going to develop the young guys to see what we have before we make our trades. All I want to do right now is to see who they have before they make their trades.
I feel that when I look at this spot, let's say New Orleans stays close in the first half, gets blown out. Now I'm not going to take New Orleans here, but I think that Dave LA might want to switch this move.
Yeah.
Like I started jumping on the Cavs first quarter. I think that the Pelicans first quarter could be a play with an enormous amount of value moving forward.
You're
on.
I'm on the first quarter. That's a play I gave my wife when I stepped outside. I'm on the Pelicans first quarter, and I'm on Indiana full game money line. I'm on Pelicans first quarter. I think Pelicans first quarter. Sorry, Dave LA. You know you my guy. I've seen a little bit, but I think this first quarter tonight is the first quarter Pelicans walk away with. Especially if AD and Holiday play the first quarter. They're going to get as much as they possibly can early on in the game while they're out there on the court.
What about
again? I think we're now we're talking about stuff that's out of our control. What the coach's plan is. What you know the who is it? Danny Ferry is coming, and we know the horrifying shit. Not horrifying shit, but this dumb shit that got him fired from his last job in Atlanta, the stupid, ignorant shit that we're saying there. Because we know he's got skills as, you know, he's been in the game a long time. But when we are making a first half play, we have no idea what Gail Benson has told him to do. We have no idea how he's got. I think it's out of our control in minutes. But first quarter, it's not.
I agree with Hako Schofield.
It's
a stay away game.
Right.
No, it's a stay away. Actually, what I want to do, if you don't mind, Jim, what's your thoughts on the game? Because you're not a big basketball guy, but what do you think about the Pelicans bullshit they pulled doing this little?
I don't know. Right now, I'm listening to y'all. It's almost like listening to Spanish because I don't even understand what's going on right here. But, you know, there's a lot of media involved with NBA. I think when you go to NBA, you got to really study the game being played on the floor. Like, you guys do really good. This is just outside looking in. Like, when you guys put the matchup and you look at the lineup and all that, that's a lot more concrete information than a lot of the little news media that goes along with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what the numbers look like when you look at how they playing on the court. I would go right there with those.
Well, I'm doing it. I want to do it. I'm taking Pelicans first quarter +2 -105, going straight up against my man Dave LA. Now, we've got to get Max to come in very soon. So let me talk about the two games I'm on. Or why don't we finish with just the games that are popping off before Kings Court goes off. So we have Bulls Magic, and hearing everybody on the Bulls scared me off taking the Magic. And you know, J Money, when you say I never want to scare you off or take you off a bet, I want you to. I really do. I want someone to take me off a bet. I think that's helped me really in NBA this year when people I respect are like, don't do that. And sometimes I'm right, but I believe I'm right less than 50% of the time. And that's why I have no problem getting off the bet, although I did just jump on the first quarter as soon as I saw King get the green light there. Bulls Magic, I love what the Magic's doing. I also think Chris Dunn coming back is a huge, huge help. I'm staying off of this Bulls Magic spot. I'm a little uncomfortable with everybody on the Bulls.
Go ahead, because this is my favorite play.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I love the Bulls full game +8.5. It went to 8. That's a play that I took at 8, and I brought up to 9 with it, and then it's at 8.5, and I took it again at 8.5. I love the Bulls in this spot tonight. Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, and Larry Marketing are going to be a tandem in the NBA. This is great nucleus of 3 guys out here. What do you add length, guys who can create their own shot, and guys who can shoot the basketball and get to the free throw line without being helped to get to the free throw line. They can create their own, so they're going to drive the lane. Those 3 guys right here together, man, Chicago make the perfect fucking trade. Then you bring Chris Dunn back, a guy who do double digits, 6-7 assists a game. Orlando, that's too many points. I think that's automatically the public, the bookies, the lines, seeing Orlando won a couple of games. They're at home. Orlando is a better team away. I don't care what nobody say. The eye test for Orlando is back on the road. At home be iffy. It's a big line for a team who was just under 500, who was struggling to get wins early on in the year. Now all of a sudden they're -8 against the Bulls. Don't sleep on this Marketing, Levine, and Porter matchup out here, man. And then Robin Lopez. Lopez can do a lot of things out there too to help these guys score points.
I like both Lopez brothers. Ski, you have something to say on this spot because one thing I just want to mention is I love everything that Evan Fournier is doing. Absolutely everything that he's doing from a locker room standpoint. I just all the things he's saying to the media about how everything's changed now. Finally, everything's changed. Important game to play. I'm gonna back this Magic team often rolling through, and maybe the road is something I should focus on. I didn't think about that.
We talked about that. That's what I was going to say. The Magic, before the break, they ended up great. They were 7-1 straight up and against the spread out of their last 8 games. And looking at the stats, I mean, I know it's after the break, but their first offensive rating, first defensive rating, third rebounding. So they're trying to make it. They're trying to win. They already showed us that. But I've loved what Otto Porter's doing at the Bulls. He looks great over there.
22.5 points a game.
Right. And King already touched on it. I like Laurie Markkinen. That was one of my favorite players when he was drafted. Levine, great. They're great together. They're 4-1 against the spread the last 5. They're 8-5-1 when the spread is +6.5 to +9.5.
Sorry to interrupt. What do you think about Markkinen this year, though? Last year he looked great. This year he comes in with this elbow injury. Do you count on him late in games? Because I don't know if I do this year. When you're right, coming out of Arizona, this guy looked dangerous. He had a great rookie year. Has something been stalled with the elbow injury or the constant losing? Still trust Markkinen moving forward right now? If you've got money on the Bulls, you think you're gonna hit those daggers?
I would put money on yes. I mean, I still like him. He's still young, so you're gonna get ups and downs. If he's hurt, and an elbow affects a lot, so I still have confidence in him. And one last thing, Chicago beat the Nets by 19 on the road, and the Grizzlies by 10. So, I mean, Chicago's been playing good too.
Well, we have too much NBA to talk about, so thank God we have the 100th Kings Core episode popping off right after this. I'm on the Raptors -7. Can we just quickly drop just a couple plays? Like, I'm on Raptors -7. We're going to bang the shit out of that game. I got my Raptors jersey right there. I got my Raptors. I took the Raptors jersey off for ski life because, I care more about this man, really, than the Raptors right now because they put a fucking dagger in our fucking heart bringing in Kawhi, who's going to play for 1 year. What, we get to have a good basketball team for 1 year? Fuck that shit, man. Don't give us the fucking most glorious opportunity in the world and then take it away from us like we're some fucking punk. Fuck that shit.
I feel you on that.
We also got the Remy flying. So I'm off Timberwolves Knicks. I watch you guys on the Knicks, but I'm on the Clippers -2. So and I'm on the Nuggets -4.5. So, we're not going to bang out these plays right now because we have Kings Court 100th episode, Kings Court 100th episode popping off, and we'll hammer all of these games and only these games. So Matt Meadow says, Jimmy, where's the gear? Man, I'd rather rock Ski Profit. And everybody says, hope Kawhi kills it, man. Yeah, give us the NBA championship or get us the NBA championship in 1 year and then take it away from us. I don't want to live like that. So I'm on 4 plays right now. Oh, 5 now. 5 now because I just added the first quarter of the Pelicans going straight up against my man Dave Elliott. Jay Money just saying Cat ruled out. Joe and Easy saying Jimmy the Henny is talking. The Henny says nice things. Okay, let's not rock this NBA card anymore because we have the 100th episode of King's Court popping off right after. And we are going to end on time today because we need to start right when the games start rolling to bang out live plays because I did know that a lot of people who enjoyed the show yesterday were saying, where are King's live plays? Where Jay Money's live plays? So hopefully we can touch on that. Let's move on to college basketball with none other than our college basketball expert, Mr. Maxwell Smart in the house. Maxwell, how you doing, homie?
To be honest, we took it in the bottom mouth last night, so I'm definitely hungry, motivated to get it going tonight. I've listened to some of my favorite songs. I've almost punched a hole in the wall. Definitely disturbed with the neighbors, and I'm ready to get going. So let's get right into the games.
What's up, Max, man? I was thinking last night, I really appreciate what you're doing out there, man, for tomorrow's youth, bro. You take the money from the bookies, you give it to the strippers so they can further their college career. That's a swell job you're doing right there, Max. But first off, today I looked at the card. I think everybody in the chat earlier, I've seen just everybody's jumping on this Bowling Green versus Ohio game. I'm loving Bowling Green in this spot like everybody else. It's up at about 5 right now. and it pretty much opened about 5. It's a couple 4.5s out there. What you think about the Bowling Green? You jumping on that train?
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to stay off of it. I don't think that they're going to have the same kind of performance that they had against Western Michigan. This Ohio team, outside of Tevion Kirk and Jason Carter, they don't have a lot of consistent offense. You may be able to get a good game out of Ben Vanderbilt, but Ohio's shooting 54% in conference. They're getting to the line about 17 times. They're a below average rebounding team as far as MAC teams goes, and they're turning the ball over 13 times a game. And against a team like Bowling Green, that's just not going to be good. I do like the fact that Ohio's numbers have greatly improved at home. It's just right now, I got to rely on the fact that I think that Bowling Green is going to be able to hit a lot of free throws when they get to the line. I think that they're going to be able to capitalize on Ohio's carelessness with the ball. And I think that DiMaggio Wiggins is going to be very important. If he has one of these standout types of games, 18 and 15 or 20 and 16 or something like that, I think that Bowling Green is going to be able to route, if not destroy Ohio in the first half. The way that Buffalo beat them with three-point shooting, Bowling Green still has those types of weapons and guys like Antoine Lillard and Mike Laster and, of course, Justin Turner and Dylan Fry. So I think that I'm going to be going on Bowling Green also. I'm definitely going to be plugging my nose. I don't like to see the line moving towards Ohio. I just think that Bowling Green, if you look at it statistically and what the overall body of work is, Bowling Green's got to be the play tonight.
You know, not everybody backing Bowling Green here. Sean Williams backing Bowling Green. Sean Childress says too much money on Bowling Green. Max, my man, we're going to have to keep a brisk pace. I do want to touch on each and every one of these games. Let's hit Milwaukee at IUPUI. IUPUI opening is 9-point favorites. Money comes in on them. They're now 9.5. His total's dropped a half point from 147 to 146.5. Max, Milwaukee at IUPUI.
Yeah, this number, I got to take Milwaukee or nothing. The IUPUI is not playing defense right now, allowing 79 points a game, 49% from the field, 44% from three, and they're not even hitting free throws. So unless TJ McCall and Cam Justice step it up tonight, I don't really see them being able to cover this number. I think Darius Roy is going to be able to have his way and be able to get to the bucket and get his shot off. And I'll be taking Milwaukee tonight, and I'll also be looking for... where's the over? Yeah, I'm also leaning towards the over in this game. I can't find the number in my 146, I think it is. I think that's an all right spot. I think that there's going to be points that get scored, but as of right now, my only play of this game is going to be on Milwaukee.
You know, I'm going to stay off this Milwaukee IUPUI spot. If the market was moving more in Milwaukee's direction, I like that that you think Milwaukee can cover this, but I'm going to stay off of this spot. You looking at it again?
Yeah. Hey, Max, I got a game I want to ask you about. Looking at this Harvard game versus Brown. I see the line already moved up to 3 from 1, showing money coming in on Harvard. Obviously, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm going with the money on this one with Harvard. I know they won 7 out of 8. They're coming off that overtime win versus Penn. I'm thinking they keep it going. They already beat Brown this year by 21 points. I'm hoping that Brown won't try to get, some revenge. But I'm thinking about laying a short number with Harvard. What you think about this one, and also the under on this one, Max?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on both, on the under and on Harvard. Bryce Aiken is definitely back. He's assumed the starting role. You're really seeing his shot come back and his court awareness. He's up to averaging 21 points a game, I believe, in 8 games. This is a team that hold Brown to 47 points already on their home floor. I don't think that a lot's going to change tonight. Desmond Cambridge has not been shooting the ball well the last 5 games. He's been having 2 for 10, 1 for 11 type performances, and I think that you really need to depend on him in this game. I think he's going to get up for playing against Bryce Aiken, but I still have to go with Harvard. I'm going with Noah Kirkwood. I'm going with guys like Justin Bassey. I think that this team is definitely ready to make their ascent and really challenge Yale for top spot in the Ivy League, and I'm going to take the -3, and I like the under, even though it's been bouncing around from 136 to 131. I'll take it at 133.5.
So wait just a sec, Max. You're backing Harvard and the under in this spot.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Max, man, this is one of my plays of the day right here. I took a little time to study this one right here. We got Yale playing Dartmouth. Yale's coming home off a 2-game road spree. They got a 4-game home stay. Dartmouth been playing pretty well. The numbers pretty line up, not too bad, considering there's a 10-point spread right here. But I think after a 6-day rest with Yale and the way that they monstered through them last time these two met, I think that Yale gets over the 9.5 today. It was up at 10 earlier, but it's gone down to about 9.5 right now at Heritage. So I'm going ahead and I'm taking Yale minus the 9.5. I think they roll them over at home. You know, what you think about that?
I definitely don't have a play right now on this because I'm trying to decide whether I take Yale first half or full game. I do like the fact that Yale definitely has a more dominant scoring defense right now. They're holding their opponents to 28% from deep distance, and they're hitting free throws, and they're getting to the line an average 17 times a game. This is a team that's 6-1 ATS at home, 6-2 in conference. They got probably one of the 2 top players in the Ivy League in Mia Oni. I think that guys like Blake Reynolds and Paul Atkinson are going to be able to contribute enough so that Dartmouth's poor defense over the last 5 games gets exposed. I think that the only way Dartmouth stays in this game is if they force turnovers and they really force unforeseen mistakes, charges, stepping out of bounds, all those types of issues that we always throw stuff at the TV over. I am a little worried that Chris Knight and James Foy specifically will be able to get off. I'm not really convinced Brendan Barry's going to have a consistent game, so I think that they'll be able to shut him down. But in the end, with the way that Dartmouth's playing defense, I just can't go against Yale at home. So I'll definitely be trying to decide before the end of the show whether I'm on first half or full game, but I'm agreeing with you there.
Keep me up with that one, Max, man. I think I might jump on that first half with you, too. I like the full game. It's a little risque with the points. Yeah, a little risque. You know, that's
shit.
in Orange County. You got to use words like
that's
that.
Not going to happen tonight, though. Tonight, just tits only.
But, let me know before we end the show, man, what you're going to do in that spot. And I think I might trail you right there on that first half, Yale.
Hey, Max, real quick. I had a game I was looking at, Iona versus Manhattan. I see 53% of the wagers are on Manhattan, but the spread has went up from -3 for Iona to -4 at most places, and the total is dropping. It went from 133 down to like 131.5, even a 130 at Pinnacle. You have anything on this spot, Max?
Yeah, this is actually going to be probably my play of the day. I'm going to be taking Manhattan again. This is a team on a 6-game ATS winning streak. This is a team that has won 5 of the last 6 in conference. They've really turned it around. I understand they play a very slow pace where they're only going to average 46 shots a game, but they're hitting 44% of it. And I think that their 3-point defense has been fantastic. They're holding teams to 5 3-point makes a game in conference, and they're shooting 47%. So when you talk about Manhattan, you don't talk about a team that can score. Well, this team can score. They've shown that they can score and they can play defense. When the team's allowing 58 points a game in conference, I just can't go up against that. People will harp on their free throw shooting, but over the last 5 games, they're shooting 66%. So I think that they've started to figure it out. I think that Tyler Reynolds and Samir Sood are enough tonight, and I think that Warren Williams gives that an extra boost. I think that they can win on the money line against Iona. I know Iona's hot. They're coming on a 4-game winning streak, coming off the win against Quinnipiac. I just think that this is a perfect letdown spot, and where defense will decide the game.
Wow, Max, going against the line move, such a sharp player, man. I appreciate that. And I'm segueing that into another one. Looks like it's going against the line move for me. I have St. Peter's Marist. I'm thinking about taking Marist on the first half. They're 8 out of the last 10 covering on the first half there. Am I making the wrong move? It looked like St. Peter's is getting some money and then line moving their way. Am I on the wrong spot, bro?
Well, I think that Marist is definitely going to be playing a little more passionate tonight. I think that obviously this is a team that needs to be able to score over 70 points to win, and I'm confident that they can do it tonight. I think that they're going to play good 3-point defense. I think that they're going to be able to hit their free throws. I think they're going to be able to shut down Devontae Turner. And the only thing that they really need to shore up is their rebounding on the offensive glass. In all college basketball, you're going to have bad shooting nights, and the way that you cover up those shooting nights is getting to loose balls off rebounds and getting on the O glass. So I think that they're going to shoot the ball. They're going to continue to shoot the ball well like they have lately. And I think that St. Peter's can be exploited tonight. So I think that they're in the position to be set up for the wet up. So I'll be taking Marist full game tonight.
Marist full game. Just 1 second. I find that appealing right now, but I don't think I'm going to make a move on it. My man Ron Walsek, whom I love dearly, I break down horses with him. I haven't been doing it enough. I know we're going to be hammering the Triple Crown together. Ron says Yale playing Harvard tomorrow could be a look-ahead spot. Does that, before we break down more games, just very briefly, Max, does that concern you that Yale could be looking ahead at Harvard tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. That concerns me. But how I look at it is they have to stay neck and neck. They can't afford a slip up. They can't afford a look ahead spot. I just think from a defensive perspective, they're going to have so much of an advantage versus Dartmouth. The only thing that can spoil this cover is if Dartmouth is just hitting threes. If they hit 12 threes in a game, then I'm worried about the cover. But I think that it's going to go along the same lines as the first game, and Yale's at home, where they have been really tough, and I'm not going to go against that just yet.
Next one on the list right here, we got Canisius versus Monmouth right here. Looks like it's a split with the public. 54% of them's riding on Canisius on this one. Where you at on that one, Max?
Yeah, listen, obviously Canisius definitely had a very dominant second half in the first time that these guys met up, when they're shooting 59% for the game and 52% from three, which is completely out of character for this Canisius team. If you watch and follow this team, you know that the three-point shot is not their friend. But I think that tonight, if they're going to be able to beat Monmouth on Monmouth's floor, I think that Jonathan Sanks and Scott Hitchin are going to be critical, and it's going to be critical that they hit the three-point shot, because you do not want Takai Molson staying outside on the perimeter hitting threes. Obviously, you're going to have Malik Johnson now. He's in the lineup, and he's obviously replacing Isaiah Reese as the lead point guard. It does worry me with his size tonight going against Hammond, but I just think that this Canisius team is finally playing up to their potential. I think that getting Isaiah Reese out of there was a good idea. They both have had a common opponent in Marist and lost on the road to them. I think that Canisius is definitely a team that interests me more as a dog and on the road, and I'm going to back them +3 tonight.
Backing Canisius +3. I have added my first two plays on this card. I'm on Harvard -2.5 at -105 at Heritage, and I'm on the Harvard Brown under 133.5 at -108 at Pinnacle. Max, Niagara Rider opens Rider -8.5 at BetOnline, and BetOnline's now at -8. Small movement on both the side and the total. Basically stuck at the 156.5 that it opened with. What are you thinking here, Max? Niagara at Rider.
Yeah, so basically, if Ryder does not shoot a lot of threes, they have a better shot at covering this number. This is a team that's really been aggressive and taken it to the bucket the last couple games. They're getting to the line a shitload, even though they're not making 70% of their free throws. I think that's a valuable tool. It's really just going to depend on what kind of performance you get from Stevie Jordan tonight. He's their point guard. When he's having a bad shooting night, you can see the frustration on his face, and I think that he's going up against some guards for Niagara that you really have to be on point against. Jamestown and Khalif Tate, are nothing to hold your nose at. And I think that if Marvin Prochet is able to step into 3-point shots coming off a 2 for 10 performance in their last game, I think that Ryder's going to be in trouble. If you've been betting on Ryder, you've been losing money. I'm taking this line from the godfather of volume right now, but the facts are the facts. This is a terrible team to bet at night. You've seen them lose over and over at night. You've seen them win in the day. I think that Ryder will win this game. I just think that this being one of the last games for Dominic Raab as a senior, I think that he's going to have a big game tonight. I think that he's going to get really involved in the offense, and I think that they're going to be able to stay within the numbers. So I'm going to take Niagara. I'm going to buy up to 9 if I can't already get it. I have to take a look at my SBR odd page. But, yeah, I'm definitely looking to get on Niagara tonight. I think that they'll give Ryder a good game, and Ryder just has to prove to me after more than one cover and one push that they can win you some money ATS. So give me Niagara, and I'm also going to take the over in this game. I think that points are going to get scored.
Wow, also taking the over. I find both those plays extremely appealing. I've already doubled up on just one game, skipped the rest, but I may be jumping on this under from the king of unders, the man making unders great again, Noli knows, liking the under in Iona, Manhattan. Everything that you're on in the Niagara Ryder game is very appealing, and the Iona, Manhattan under is very appealing. I'm going to study that right now. First off, I want to give a shout out to Julian Cesario, jumping on a flight. Won't be able to make it out this weekend. Julian Cesario, we're just getting started, my man. Wonderful running with you at Santa Anita. We're just getting rolling. You know that. J Money, you looking at a game right now?
Yeah, Max, I wanted to ask you about this Kent State and Buffalo game. We know Kent State is third in their division up there, and the Buffalo is obviously they're trying to win it as well. It's going to be between obviously Buffalo, Bowling Green, and Kent State. So this is kind of sort of a big game tonight. I know Buffalo's at the house, but you're giving me 15 and a half points with Kent State. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo only beat them by 9 points at the house when they were playing in Kent State. And this was on January 28th. So I feel like they might be able to keep this within probably even 10 points, and you give me 15. What do you think about this one? I'm definitely looking towards taking Kent State plus 15.
When I was researching this game, I got very emotional because I know tonight, it's Friday night, every Buffalo Bull men's basketball fan is going to be either at that game or watching it on TV, and I cannot emphasize what we saw from Buffalo in this last game versus Ohio, and I think that this team is going to keep on doing it. I know that they're going to have a lot tougher of an opponent in Kent State, but the way that Nate Oates is trying to motivate this team, he wants them to play. He wants to take all the question marks out of whether this is an at-large team. Don't forget, the Buffalo win against West Virginia has lost a lot of value because of how West Virginia's played. And this Buffalo team, I'm waiting for them to erupt. I start to shake when I start to think about it because I don't want to bet against them. I know that I've been losing ATS versus them. And the biggest question mark and what ended up being the tipping point and why I'm going to be just going with Buffalo. I feel that Buffalo is going to erupt tonight. Baseball Bob, we all know him on Twitter. His son goes to the school. He's talking about his son, how his son and all of the student section is going to be riled and wild up. And I think that this is a similar situation for Yale. Buffalo has to just beat the fuck out of teams. They have to rout teams. They have to just put it in everyone else's mind who makes a decision on what seed they're going to be and if they're going to get an at-large bid, that they just have to just shut them all up. So I'm sorry if I rambled on there, but I have to take Buffalo. I think that they're going to destroy Kent State tonight. I think that I just can't even talk about it. Yeah, sorry.
You know, Max, I see you're very passionate about this play. I love seeing it. But my concern is that we just watched them put up 114. Do we have a recency bias here? And that's why initially, now I want to jump with you on Buffalo. So I'm not, but are we dealing with we just saw them tear Ohio apart? And is that sort of affecting the way we're psychologically looking at this spot?
No, not at all, because the starters played 23 minutes to 25 minutes. You really saw the whole bench get emptied. You saw Jonathan Williams and Ronald Segu really show what they're going to bring next year. So I'm not going to say that that's the case. The minutes that they played, the efficiency was what really got them out to the lead. I think that they're going to be able to just win with their defense, and I think that they're going to just saltivate in the moment. I think that they're not going to let. I think that they're just going to annihilate Kent State. I could be very wrong. Listen, I've been very passionate about spots like this before, and they've fucking gone the complete other way, aka Nevada, Vermont. But I just think that this Buffalo team is just too talented. I think that Jalen Avery is a question mark for Kent State. And if you have no Jalen Avery running your point for Kent State, I'm not touching it.
Max, you're a little disheveled and very passionate. I think you're going to have a giant winning night tonight. And I also want to shout out Baseball Bob, whom I love very dearly. I follow on Twitter, Lowbag Fam, Baseball Bob. Shout out to you and your son. I find this Buffalo play very interesting. Ski, you got a play you're thinking about?
Yeah. Hey, Max, I'm looking at Cornell versus Princeton, and I think I remember Princeton beating the ranked team. I think it was Arizona or Arizona State. And I think they beat Cornell already too. So is this a revenge spot? Maybe Cornell can hang within the points in this one?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Cornell in this spot. Ski. Cornell shot 37% from the field and 70% from the three-point line the first time they played. They still came back in the second half and forced overtime, even though they ended up losing in overtime. This is a team that's going to play good three-point defense. They're only allowing 5 makes a game. They're getting to the free throw line 21 times and hitting 74%. I think that they're going to force turnovers. They're going to score in the fast break. They're going to hit threes. And I think that they're 3-0 ATS in a situation versus below 500 ATS team on the road. So I think Matt Morgan's the difference maker, and I think that Steve Julian has a big game. I think that Cornell, if not upset, stays within the number.
Yeah. All right, Max, man, I appreciate you, all the work that you putting in, man. I already took that first half that I asked you for Maris, man. I appreciate that, brother. For the most part, though, on this next play, I'm a little torn. These teams look like they're pretty evenly matched. With Illinois, Chicago, and Green Bay, I don't know where to call it, bro. Where would you lead me into the right direction at, bro?
What about the over?
Yeah, no. In this spot, I'm definitely looking at Green Bay. Green Bay's definitely elevated their game since they've inserted Cam Hankerson into the starting lineup. They got what's his name, Jalen McLeod coming off the bench. I think that he Southfate's in that 6-man role. He can really come off the bench, already get into the flow of the game and be able to go off offensively. Listen, you got Sandy Cohen. Obviously, I worry about his energy and if it leads to turnovers. I don't think it's going to be the case tonight. I think that with Hankerson in the starting lineup, I think that he really calms everything down and brings good defense. The fact is, when he's on the floor more than 27 minutes a game, this is a team that is hitting over 80% ATS. So I think that as long as they're playing good three-point D and limiting the attempts, because people are getting a lot of attempts off against them, and we know what UIC has in Ferguson, Audie, and Bowen. That's a lethal trio of guys that can give you 20 each a game. So I'm going to take the dog in this. I'm just hoping that Green Bay doesn't fall in love with the three-point shot and really takes it to the bucket and uses their athleticism to score. So it's definitely an interesting spot. I also want to point out that UIC is very bad as a 3 to 4.5 point favorite. They are 0-4 this year, so I will hope that they make it 0-5, and I'll take Green Bay plus 4.5.
I appreciate that, Max. I got a quick question here as well. I've seen that Green Bay slows the tempo a little bit, and UIC, Illinois, Chicago, they run it fast. Like you said, those boys, get about 20 points a game. You think they're going to slow down the tempo and win this game out as far as Green Bay? That's what you're looking at?
Well, UIC is definitely going to want to keep it less defensive, but I think that the best way that Green Bay's shown is the same way that Oakland turned around. Oakland turned it around with defense. I think that Green Bay's doing the same thing, and I think that Green Bay is going to be able to frustrate UIC's jump shooters with their length. When you got length like Hemphill, McLeod, Sandy Cohen, and Cam Hankerson, and even Cody Schwartz, I think that you got a lot of guys that can, as long as they close out and play good defense, which I'm hoping and harping on. I think that they'll be able to subdue this and keep the game with it under the number. Excuse me.
Under the number. There's some great stuff coming on right now, but I want to give a shout out to my man, Caden. Got baseball practice today. You leave it all out on the soil in that baseball practice, Caden. I know that's how you play. I know. Remember, the key in baseball is it's not whether you win. It's how you play the game. And we got your back, Caden, the son of my man Nutflush Allen. Caden, you show them how you practice. High intensity. That's what winners do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, this right here, this is my favorite stripper of the day, Max. This one is Columbia versus Pennsylvania. I like Pennsylvania on the side of it, but I got a little deeper into the total on this one. So this one falls right under my boy Noli's theory right here. So what's going on is towards the end of the season, teams are playing teams for the first time. And they got to play them soon again. Teams that played teams before. These two teams played before, and the total went over. And this time, like my man Noli said, the line sellers let you know where the line is going anyway. So last game was 140. This line opens up at 139. And what does the 139.5? I'm sorry. And what does the public go do? Run money on the over and run it up to what we're getting right now. We could get 141.5 at Heritage right now on the under in this one. Now, when I broke it down, Pennsylvania plays great defense. Columbia plays decent defense. So putting the two together, I think we got an under all day right here. And the history of this series of these two is mostly under. It's been under at all kinds of numbers, 128, 140, all kinds of stuff. So what do you think about the side on this one in Columbia and Pennsylvania and also the total, Max?
Yeah, Pennsylvania's 1-7 ATS in conference, so I can't back them on any number that is above 3.5. So I will be jumping on Columbia. I don't like that I've already missed the best number on it, but I will end up making a play on it. And as far as the under is, yeah, the over only hit by 2 points last time. I think that obviously Columbia has to play better defense and really has to stop Pennsylvania from being able to get to the bucket and get to the free throw line where they have been able to get, but they're not being able to be very successful. I think that the fact that both these teams shoot under 70% bodes well for the under. I have written down on my bet list Columbia under 141. So I'll definitely be jumping on that with you.
No need to cut anyone off here, but I think me, Robbie Tagaloa, and Noli Knowles heard you say favorite stripper of the day.
Yeah, it's my favorite stripper play of the day right there. That's your favorite stripper play of the day, man. Me and Max, we on our levels, man. It's all good, Max.
Sure, man. Titty juice.
Yeah.
Matt Randall's taint play of the day was the under in Davidson, Rhode Island, Max. And I wanted to see what the market did with it. It's not that I don't trust Matt Randall implicitly. I do. The taint play of the day is sitting at 5-2 right now. That over has continued to move. I could have got a 131.5 had I taken it in the morning show, which I probably should have. Davidson at Rhode Island. Davidson opens as minus 2-point favorites. They're not that anymore. There's a pick 'em at Bet Online. And people believing in Rhode Island, the market believing in Rhode Island, but we have low bag cappers believing in Davidson. We have just one more game after this, Indiana at Iowa, and then we're going to shut down, and we're going to shut down early because we have the 100th episode of King's Court popping off very, very soon. So, Max, let's keep this tight. Davidson at Rhode Island. Matt Randall, taint play of the day, and is Davidson the spot?
Well, Davidson's a three-point shooting team. Rhode Island plays good three-point shooting defense, but not over the last 5 games. They're allowing teams to shoot 40% from three-point distance. I think that's going to come back to haunt them. This is one of the worst three-point shooting. Rhode Island's one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the nation. They also have Fats Russell, who is probably the worst three-point shooter in Division I basketball, shooting 17%. I think that Rhode Island definitely has realized that they need to stop shooting threes. They're taking a lot less attempts over the last 5 games. I just think that it's a really tough game to get on a side because think about it like this. Davidson had that comeback versus Dayton at home where they got down and then the refs decided with the foul. That's a lot of emotion right there. Then you have Rhode Island, who just got demolished by VCU. King Rail and I, we cashed on that. It was very nice. But now they're back home. The money's moving in Rhode Island's favor, and everybody's on Davidson from what I can tell. This is a really tough game. I personally like the over in this game. I think that Davidson's going to be able to score points, and I'm just ignoring the line movement, and I'm taking the better team here. I'm taking Davidson -1 or pick 'em. If I can get a pick 'em, I like that better. But as far as the total, I think that it's going over. I think that Rhode Island's definitely going to have an easier time scoring the basketball compared to VCU's defense versus Davidson's defense. And quickly before you go back, I will just say that I'm on Iowa. I don't believe in Indiana right now. Iowa needs this win. Iowa needs to cover. I think that they do. I think that they rebound from the Maryland game. Plain and simple.
Max already broke down Indiana, Iowa. Do you have a feel on this spot at all? Do any of you guys have a feel on this spot as well?
No, I don't have a feel on this one. Like he said, Iowa's surprising 20-6 this year. You know what I'm saying? They're on the bounce back spot off that loss from Maryland. Before that, they were rolling, obviously 4-0, 4 straight wins. So coming off that loss and at the house, we know that's a tough place to place. Tough place to play. And then Indiana, they're not so good this year. For them to try to get back on track in a tough place versus a good team off a loss at home, that's just not a good spot for Indiana. They don't even play well at the house, let alone on the road. So I would have to be riding with Max here. I would have to look towards Iowa.
Max, I've added 3 more plays to my card. One's Noli knows is under. I find it very exciting. Although, I want us all to be on the same side, but I find it very exciting that you're against Matt Randall's taint play of the day. I just find this shit exciting when people have angles and then people that you trust are like, I don't believe in that angle. Should you stay off that spot or not? That's just exciting tapping. But I'm about to make Iowa my last play on this card. And can you just expand on Iowa briefly?
So Joe Wieskamp, when he scores in double digits, Iowa wins and covers. That's how I'm looking at this game. He's coming off a bad game versus Maryland. I think that this is a guy that you're going to learn and know his name in the coming years when it comes to Iowa basketball. I think that when you have Luka Garza, you got Tyler Cook, you got the home court advantage, you know that they're going to be hungry to get a win. And I think that Indiana has just been a disappointment. They're well coached. They should be playing a lot better than they are. And I think that the only way that they stay in this game or cover this game tonight is if Justin Smith and Rob Fizney have good games. I think that the likelihood of Justin Smith having a good game is more possible, but I'm not going to put my money on it. I just don't believe in this Indiana team on the road situationally, and Iowa just is going to be able to take over tonight. I just think that their 3-point shooting, I think that the speed and pace that they're going to run offense at, and I'm always going to harp on this. They love to switch defenses on guards. So when you could switch from a trap to a press to a zone, I really like that, and it just shows defensive fluidity, and it really keeps your opponent off their toes. So when a team can do that and they do it often based on how the game is going, I got to back them.
Oh, man, Rusty said it best. Ha, 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 Max versus Taint. And we know that doesn't exist because Max loves Taint and Max loves Matt Randall. So these are the plays that I've added. I've added 6 plays. I already let you guys know about Harvard and the Harvard Brown under. I'm on Iona Manhattan under 132. Shout out to my man, Noli knows. Man who's making unders great again. And then another spot where I'm doubling up in a game. And I've stayed off of a ton of games here. But I'm going to roll with my man, Max. Niagara plus 8.5, minus 115 at Bookmaker. Niagara Rider over 156.5, minus 108 at Pinnacle. Iowa minus 8, minus 105 at 5 dimes. You guys, this is everything I always imagined it to be. And I guess it took a few shows and for me to be wearing a Ski Profit shirt for it to all, fix in perfectly and all come to fruition the way I had imagined it. But this truly is capping together with not only incredible cappers, but incredible guys off of capping. just guys I want to roll with forever. I want to give a shout out to Trot Wham Trot. Where can we find you on Twitter?
Follow me on Trot Wham on Twitter. I appreciate everybody for being here. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to everyone in the production.
Ski Profit, man. What a chance it is to roll with you. Got my Ski Life shirt on.
It's been awesome, man.
Where can we find you on Twitter?
Find me at Ski Profit. Hit me up whenever. And we got King Score next.
King Scored next. There he is right there, King Rail.
Hey, Steve brought Jimmy a shirt to wear for low bag, but he brought me a fucking jersey to wear for King's Court. Check it out a little bit.
Love it. J Money is money. Man, as soon as you start rolling with us, man, it just made Cap and NBA so much more fun. Where can we find you on Twitter? And also, you guys have put so much energy into being here for me and for Pete and for the Low Shack and the Bag Show. You've spent money and you put in energy to be here for us, and it just means the absolute world to me. So I just want to give a big thank you to you guys for doing this. J Money, where can we find you on Twitter?
Ain't no problem, man. Y'all know where y'all can find me on Twitter at JMoneyIsMoney, man. I just want to say, thank you, to everybody showing, coming out, showing the support. If you guys want to come out tonight, a little meet and greet, whatever, we be here, man. Live, in LA, hey, we get it, King Square. Everybody tune in, like, share, retweet the show, man. We need everybody watching for the 100th episode, man. We need 1,000 people watching live, 500 likes, man. Y'all, let's get it.
Let's get it. Rosie says, can I get everybody's play of the day? No, Rosie. 100th episode popping off in a couple minutes. We got to shut down, get that rolling. That is by far the most important thing going on right now. My man, Big Boss.
What up, Jimmy? First, I want to say thank you. Shout out to you coming to California in this cool weather that we got right now. Just the opposite of what you come to California for. We appreciate you coming out here and hanging out with us.
Oh, man. I got you forever.
And we hope we do this in the future. But for my people out there, I got a little relationship advice for y'all today, okay? Being that I'm a recovered cheater over 8 years, I want to talk about cheating, okay? Don't y'all run off the screen just yet. I want to talk about cheating. Cheating works two ways. Either you the one cheating or you the one cheating on. So I'm going to address the ones getting cheated on first. Now, if you in the sports betting like I am and you at home, don't be worried about her cheating on you. If she out shopping and all that stuff, stay in love with the line. Stay in love with the market move. That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But for those of y'all that's out there cheating, look, the old school OGs, they told it to us wrong. They always tell us, make sure you cheat up. No, you cheat down, bro.
Yeah.
You got leverage when you cheat down,
drop
bro.
the bar.
Don't go, go after Curl at the convalescent center. If your girl get mad because you was with Curl and she don't take you back, Curl will take you. Right now, you know what I'm saying? Curl will take you. So that's just a little words of the wise from myself to y'all. But stay tuned for King's Court 100th episode, man. I don't know if they're gonna let me tell some. I got some jokes. I got some roasting jokes for that show. So make sure you tune back in. We might have a little rumble here, but I'm kicking the jokes, man. I'm kicking the jokes. We having fun. It's all love. I love all the people. I love them and respect them. The captain is awesome. I appreciate everybody coming right here. But my man Max, the stripper supporter, getting people through college. Yo, Max, let the people know where you're going to be at and how can they connect with you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, MaxwellSmart420, and obviously I'll be on Low Bag next week and King's Court on Thursday. And while I have this time, I will quickly just want to congratulate King Rail and J Money, 100 episodes. That is a fantastic achievement. I wish you guys nothing but the best. You guys are an all-star duo of cappers, and I can't wait till we're celebrating 200 episodes. So thanks very much, guys. Let's cash some winners, let's support local strippers, and let's serve our bookies cock soup, because the cock soup syringe needs to be injected into a bookie. It hasn't in a couple days. I think tonight's the night.
Tonight is the night. And also, tonight's the 100th episode. Get yourself a beverage. Make sure that you are feeling good for the 100th episode. Popping off in no time. Get yourself in the right frame of mind to cap these NBA games. We barely touched on them. Much love. Thank you guys all for watching. 100th episode coming up now.